Family Leonardo, me Nasila did on multimedia, the CEO voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them what they happen or gossip what they bring out to una live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you no miss any video we will try for bring out to una. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل وجعلنا من بين أيديه سدا ومن خلفه سدا فأحصيناهم فهم لا يبصرون توكلت على الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وغفر لنا سيئاتنا ودفعنا مع الأبرار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب إبراهيم إن أمره يراد شأن أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء ولا ترجعون إن الله والملائكة يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما لبيك ما بعد السلام عليكم يا جماعة والمسلمين والمسلمات Ramadan Mubarak. I say shalom to we Christian brothers and sisters, both home and the diaspora. I wish you a happy and a blessed Lent season. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades, all both home and the diaspora, this now the golden voice of the APC Encyclopedia, the Britannica, the socio-political analyst, the voice of the voiceless, the whistleblower, the lion of the social media, the regional publicity secretary Southern region under the ticket of the mighty, indomitable All People's Congress Party, forward ever, backward never until the prize is won. For in the cause of the people, the struggle continues unabated. No retreat, no surrender until the prize is won. And we shall overcome. Victory is ours. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, as we all know, say the encyclopedia media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to we people. Now we lovely and daily Mama Salon on daily happenings and on burning issues. So uno stay tuned, uno stay fixed, uno stay blessed, uno stay connected to the encyclopedia media for uno listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. TGIS, thank God today na Sunday, the 8th of March, 2026. Today we get two topics then where we deliberate on. We did at the Suku Blai, we dey scatter for we fumble them. Now the listing wall, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Number one, now about Happy International Women's Day. Number two, new laws cannot change bad old tricks. So no stay connected to the encyclopedia media. Once more again, today na Sunday, the 8th of March, 2026, we fall on International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. When are today, Sunday, 8th March 2026, we dey join the global community for celebrating International Women's Day 2026 under the theme Give to Gain. This theme, it reminds we of a powerful truth. It reminds we of a powerful perspective. Women then, now we mama them. Women then, now we auntie them. Women then, now we sisters then. Now we lovers then. Now we wives then. Now we caretakers then. Now we everything. Now the home. Without woman, no man no go be complete. Now the world. God created Adam. Now the Garden of Eden. He created as lonely. one all the Garden of Eden. Now in one great day. Due to the loneliness of Prophet Adam, when Abba Adam alayhi salam, he asked the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a playmate. Say want in one great day at the Garden of Eden, a lonely life, everything they will not feel comfortable. Then create women for the comfort of men. Now they got create Hawa when Eve from the left rib of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see, in one church and God said, no, marry them, marry them, marry them, put something for her. Now they married begin. We make dua, we make sacrifice for her and Eve become one family. Now I make Englishman, they call them your better half. Half plus half now one. Woman and husband, not to two. Now half plus half now one. Now I make them call them your better half. So God created Adam, and from there God created Eve from the left rib of Prophet Adam. We sum up to the mathematics, addition, multiplication. So today, we don't get billions of population. Now the whole world, all land they come out from woman. He say, go to the world and multiply. Ladies and gentlemen. So today, the powerfulness of a woman, that cause all anything they are. As the Holy Quran say inside Surah Al-Tariq, it say, Faliyali yul inshana mimma kulika mimma indafigin. Una no remember say, una human being there say, then create una from a fluid, from a semen, from a droplet of water inside. We mama the womb, you did the tail, you get it, you get tail, you get food, you get this, that. Till you become a formidable human being that then bear the burden for take that belly, for carry the pregnancy, that they bear the burden for give birth to we, that they give we everything, that they suckle we, that they bow we up on their own back. Women of Africa, women of great simplicity, fellow Sierra Leoneans, women of the great world, we they give them worries, we they give them sleepless nights. Then I will best teachers them. Then I will caretakers them. Women then are the caretaker of the home. Today in Sierra Leone, where you wake up early in the morning, women only they sleep, they get sleepless night. Then they come out 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, to supply, go to market, for go sell, for let the family sustain, because man they're jobless. Fellow Sierra Leonean, God bless we, mama. God bless we sisters there. God bless the women of Sierra Leone and the whole world. When you educate the girl child, you don't educate a whole nation. Bravo to we mama them, we sisters them, we auntie them, we comrades them, in the mighty indomitable All People's Congress Party, the patriotic women of Sierra Leone, the virtuous women of Sierra Leone, the great women of the world, we don't contribute to the development of Sierra Leone and the world at large. We invest in women through opportunities, through leadership, through respect, through inclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, they give a strength to a society. They make a society, they develop. They make a society, they flourish. When women, they rise, society, then they rise. Community, then they rise. Family, then they rise. Neighborhood, then they rise. Families, then they flourish. The nation, they excel. When women then continue for shape, we feature fellow Sierra Leoneans. We continue for battle women then. We continue for support women then through honesty, through dedication, through sacrifice, through intelligence, through leadership, through mentorship. From the homes to the institution to the university, we they get a better community, we they get a better country, we they get a better nation, and we they get a better world. Ladies and gentlemen, because women they guide the progress and the survival of a nation. Women then, now indispensable architect of development, cooperation, and unity. Together, Lord, we support we women there, both home and the diaspora. When we give, they will gain. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, where we create space, wherein women in the tribe, wherein women in the excel, wherein women in the lead, wherein women in the inspire the next generation. It will be a better and a developed society. But sad International Women's Day to we sister, we comrade, we na Zainab Sharif, we na actress, we na a player, we na an artist. Today it is suffer unlawful incarceration. Ladies and gentlemen, other countries they empower women there, but we get a reckless government where they for victimized women there, where they for marginalized women there. Women then, like them kind of day, where they act film, where they do, where they encourage other women then, where they motivate other women then, where don't help so many women then today, so they don't do university, so they don't become doctor, then kind of women then they, now then they disgrace so today. Take heart, my sister. Take heart, Zainab Sharif. Take heart. God say, the International Women's Day, they meet you in luck. They meet you in unlawful incarceration. But God, the truth, ain't gonna last. Ladies and gentlemen, today they suffer unlawful incarceration for expressing democratic freedom. My sympathy again go to with sister when I thank Edward Cabo for the loss we don't get. Take heart, my sister. We love her, but God love her the most. Let God give her a Natul Fidao. Happy International Women's Day to my sister, to my mentor, to my chief advisor, to a patriotic citizen, a democratic citizen. We don't stand tall abroad, now the diaspora, where they support the electoral justice financially, psychologically, morally, socially, in all type of export. Let God bless you, my sister. Let God elevate you, my sister. Let God give you more long life and well body, my sister, than our sister Juliet Cagbo of Belgium. The great woman, a woman in her prime, woman of great simplicity, don't do a lot. You no one know whose family we belong. You no one know whose tribe we belong. You na a philanthropist we cut across all over the world. God bless you, man. God bless you. We say happy International Women's Day to you, Madam Juliet Cagbo of Belgium. Happy International Women's Day to Madam Salema to Sise. We now best of Ushiaras then. Sis Membari, Yayo them, powerful women there of the loyalist families and all the other women there. Mami Yebu them, Mrs. Mohamed Moriba there, and all other women there. We don't contribute a great na this country. Yeah. Let God bless you and we wish you a happy International Women's Day. The Alpha and the Omega, Her Excellency, Madam Betty Samora Kamara, when are we First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, awaiting, we say Happy International Women's Day, Mama. And to all electoral justice fighter, women them, both home and the diaspora, the grassroots, the market women there, where they grab early in the morning for sutra the family, and all women there, where they all walks of life, both locally and internationally, where they join the global world today for say a happy International Women's Day. With the theme this year, 2026, Give to Gain. That now is first topic. Happy International Women's Day to the women of Sierra Leone and the women of the whole world. We come to a second presentation when our new laws cannot change bad old tricks, says His Excellency, the President-elect, Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson, blessed, grace, anointed, favor, liberator, on karuba, fue minta, fue tenkline, fue kilitententeng, betembeng, kanapi, Joseph Wisdom Kamara, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, democratically elected on the June 24, 2023 presidential election at the Republic of Sierra Leone. God is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. Now the all-powerful, now the omniscience, now the magnificence, na the benevolent, na the alkali kuliaba. From colonial independence to date, primary school days all over the world, till we go now secondary school days, till university days, we only get a supplementary kindergarten book titled The Kamara Family, where they teach the kids thing, how the Kamara family, they live in a community peacefully with neighbors there, with other families there. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, it is amazing. The Kamara family. So bravo and kudos to the Kamara family. This reminds me about a glorious political party leadership. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, listeners, this political leadership, they fight for accountability, waiting they fight for, then are reforms. Fellow Sierra Leoneans. So, this don't tell you, say, new laws, not a change, old bad habits. A thief, not always a thief, even dressed in gold. A murderer, a killer, is always a killer. Fellow Sierra Leoneans. So, anything in this world where you want to stop a killer, where you want to stop a thief, where you want to stop an armed robber, where you want to stop a bandit, now what if you do? You for hold accountable. But for say, now new laws, they make somebody stop for kill. They make somebody stop for thief. They make somebody stop for exploit others. You are joking. The more you create new laws, the more themselves they create fraudulent ideas there for counter the new laws there. Ladies and gentlemen, so that don't tell you, say, new laws cannot change bad old tricks. The failure for address underlying belief, the behavioral change fail for address the root belief where they fear lengthening in the air. Legal action, ladies and gentlemen, not only a temporary issue where they interrupt rather than stopping the behavior of bad old tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners, the reactionary nature of the law. New laws then sometimes they create new loopholes or bad laws then where they fail for address the intended problem and the underlying issues. For let change be effective, as been argued, it will be accompanied by the changing underlying belief rather than relying solely on legal action. The slow legal evolution. Outdated laws then, they remain in place for decades, while bad trickster and unethical or immoral behavior still they continue for thrive in a society. In summary, while new laws then, they introduce them for stop detrimental behavior, they frequently fail because old tricks rooted in habit, loopholes, and at times a disregard for the spirit of the law. The focus on beliefs. So truly, for alter behavior, one for address the underlying belief, not just the action themselves, the behavioral focus. For change bad old tricks, it often requires long-time consistent behavior modification. Example, making new habits then easy and rewarding rather than for rely solely on legal action. Fellow listeners, comrades all, both home and the diaspora, the social behavior, entrenched negative habits then, short as smoking and teaching, then they often persist despite we get new restrictions there. They may not restrict public smoking, but smoking stop publicly? The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen. So we come to the underlying belief, waiting at the underlying belief. True behavior, they change wey require for address the belief behind the actions there, rather than just imposing new rules. The law of enforcement stroke adaptation. People then they often adapt to new rules there, where they find the new ways for perform old tricks there, wherein they beat the system, the loopholes. New legislation often they fail for address the fine print and the loopholes them where they allow for continued exploitation. The habit and the resistance. The long established harmful habit or behavior, they're very, very difficult for break, often because individual and they resist change. Ladies and gentlemen, to the new routine. This now how new laws that they often fail for stop old bad tricks. New laws they know they change bad old tricks. This reflects a common sentiment that legislative efforts then they sometimes fail for curb entrenched unethical or illegal behavior. This phenomenon it occur because individuals then and corporations then they frequently exploit legal loopholes. Then they navigate the boundaries of the law for maintain unfair advantages. Waiting at the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. The letter of the law, now waiting the law the state. The spirit of the law, now a social and a moral consensus of the interpretation of the letter. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting they do change in law, now somebody in lifetime. Change now a fundamental and inevitable part of life. Everything around we, nature, society, technology, and even we own thoughts there and feelings there, then they keep on changing with time. This phrase means say nothing remains the same forever. Waiting are the 10 most important rights there where human being gets na this world. Any type of law where you make, then 10 important rights there are there for thee. The covenants they deal with short rights there as the freedom of movement, the equality before the law, the right to a fair trial, and the presumption of innocence, the freedom of thought, the freedom of conscience and religion, the freedom of opinion and expression. Today, Zainab Sharif, Mohammed Moribadeng, and others, then they suffer incarceration due to the freedom of their opinion and expression. Peaceful assembly, freedom of association, participation in public affairs, and elections there for choose the leaders there who want, let them lead we, fellow Sierra Leoneans. That are we autonomy. Waiting at the 3 laws of life. The 3 basic laws of life now one. Now the law of cause and effect. Every cause now the world it get an effect. Every action gets in consequences. This now one of the basic laws of life. The number 2 law, when are the basic laws of the life, now the law of attraction. Ladies and gentlemen. And number 3 law, now the law of impermanence, where they provide a framework for living in a purposeful and fulfilling life. That don't tell you, say, we know they live now this world here forever. This not just a temporary world. You eat for live today, tomorrow you bury in the casket. And from the dust you add, and unto the dust you shall return. And then tell we say, Kulu man alayya fani wa zabuka shajul jalal wal ikram. Everything on planet Earth, they vanish. Now only the power of the Almighty Allah, subhanallah wa ta'ala, they remain na the world. Kolo nafsi ya ekatul mauta. No life, no death na this world. We know the taste, the bitterness of death, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. So these are the 3 basic laws of life. The law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, and the law of impermanence, where they provide a framework for living a purposeful and a fulfilling life. We get the 7 steps there in changing we lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, stop making excuses. 2, set goals that you like. 3, create a routine. 4, hold yourself accountable. 5, track your progress then. 6, correct your failures then. Failure are integral to success. And number 7, exercise. Waiting on the new theory of law. The new theory of law. The new natural law position, it holds say we get moral absolutes when our norms then, we specify certain acts then as of a short, then they always and every day not be done. This could be seen in the new natural law approach. We say lies and lying is prohibited. Ladies and gentlemen, they are a law from religious book then. These are the food of we political leaders then today. Lies and lying to the young people. We get the 4 pillars of change. Waiting at the 4 pillars of change in life. The 4 pillars of change, where they change a society, where they change a community, where they change a nation, where they change a whole society. Now 4 pillars. Number 1, now leadership. Any good leadership, now a pillar for change. Number 2, management. The way you manage the resources of a state, the minerals of a state, now a great pillar of change, a great pillar of development. Belonging, that they show a sign of belongingness, that they show patriotism, that they show nationalism. And number 4, now protects. Ladies and gentlemen, how you better the lives of the people there, now a country. So we get the 4 pillars of change. Now, any nation, leadership, management, belonging, and the project. So the most problems then, ladies and gentlemen, where they affect we society today, where they eat the fabrics of we society today, where don't destroy we country today, where are the darling mamas alone, the land of milk and honey, the ones referred to as the Athens of West Africa. Not due to bad leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, not to the changing of laws. We get good laws in Sierra Leone. Some of the laws they will get in Sierra Leone, Ghana not gets them. Some of the laws they will get in Sierra Leone, Liberia not gets them. Some of the laws they will get in Sierra Leone, Senegal not gets them. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, we get good laws in Sierra Leone. But now bad leadership will get in Sierra Leone. Now it makes Sierra Leone not they go before. Upon all the over 20 minerals then we will get in Sierra Leone. We they remain for suffer, waiting do because of bad leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, which type of law will the best? The answer emphatically now the constitution. We got the constitution of Sierra Leone. We tell we say Sierra Leone for be a democratic state. We get a constitution of Sierra Leone. We tell we say sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government, through this constitution, for derive their authority and legitimacy. We get a constitution of Sierra Leone. We tell we about the checks and balances. We get a constitution of Sierra Leone. We tell we about the separation of powers, about the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. All then in the day. We get a constitution of Sierra Leone. We tell we about the fundamental human rights. Now, most of the important things that they want in day, but any constitution in a country, ladies and gentlemen, the national constitution. But the problem today, now bad leadership, now autocratic leadership, now authoritarian leadership, now tyrannical leadership, now reckless and lawless leadership. So new laws cannot change bad old tricks. In 2022, then change we electoral laws then for conduct the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections, when one of the worst elections ever conducted in the political history of the sub-region. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get the 2012 Public Elections Act. That not happen. But who can get the 2022 Public Elections Act? We get the worst election ever in the political history of the sub-region. We then conduct election, declare winners then, till today, 3 years ago, no election result. So the new electoral laws then, we then call the 2022 Public Elections Act, ladies and gentlemen, they only enact them criminally, fraudulently, surreptitiously, unconstitutionally, undemocratically, for thief the people they mandate, for thief the people they vote. While the old 2012 Public Elections Act had been far better. So that don't tell you, say, new laws then not to ever stop bad old tricks. Because in 2018, even though the total percentage now 103%, but we able get election result. They able publish them. They able gazette them. And up to date, they're visible na the ECSL website. But when we get new laws, the 2022 Public Elections Act, we get the worst elections ever in the political history of Sierra Leone, election without result. You go to school, you begin done university, they say you don't graduate, but you don't get result. That only Sierra Leone it happen. The state looters political party, they can abolish the death penalty for secure fund internationally. They say they come with new law. We person kill, they not for kill again. We person do bad crime, they not for kill again. We person commit treason, they not for kill again. We person commit armory with armed robbery or armed robbery with aggravation, they not for kill you again. Therefore, sentence you life imprisonment, ladies and gentlemen, for can end the death penalty. But what do we see? They abolish the death penalty and politically machinator with assassination, unlawful killings, extrajudicial killings, strategic ethnic cleansings, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and communists all, even with President-elect, His Excellency Dr. Samra Matthew Kamara, they miss for assassinator over 8 attempted assassination. The death penalty, the abolition for replacing with extrajudicial killings, kill citizens there in Tombo, Tonkolimba, Kamakuye, Mashaka, Mai 91, Masengbe, Bonapi, Hastings, Lonshar, Makeni, Tombo, the Peninsula, Lumley, the APC National Headquarters, August 10 massacre and beyond, September 11 massacre, the Pandema Road Maximum Prison massacre. I see that the way they turn, he said the doctor in voice. Fatmata Sawane. You just begin dance, Abule Force. The time they carry the dance, Konkorobi dance. He left small. The Pandema Road Prison massacre. Innocent inmates, them prisoners there, where they in lock. They go kill them. The November 26th failed coup massacre. The likes of leather boots them. They hold them, they say they commit coup. But they not try them all. Westside they say they don't abolish the death penalty. Then kill them live. Fire them, shoot them, torture them. Ladies and gentlemen. So this for be a reminder for tell you say, new laws, not a change. Old bad tricks them. Ladies and gentlemen. The time will be get the death penalty. Killings they not being bokuna we country. But from what they come, they say they abolish this death penalty. The amount of killings then, unlawful killings then, the barbaric killings then, the brutal killings then, we don't happen now we country. It not ever happen in the political history of Masadon. Ladies and gentlemen, we then say they abolish the death penalty. Ladies and gentlemen, kill Sierra Leonean citizens then by the pauper, machinated thugs then, killers then. Take them body then, seize them dead body then from their family and their loved ones then. go bury them in mass graves as cockroaches. Ladies and gentlemen, torture and shot death civilians them to death, seize them dead bodies them, instead of taking them for go try them. So what are the essence for abolish the death penalty? Kill citizens then, seize their dead bodies then from their family and the loved ones then, go bury them in mass graves as if they're not get alive. But until we say they don't abolish the death penalty, that don't tell you say new laws, not they change bad old tricks, ladies and gentlemen. A killer is always a killer. A thief is always a thief. No new laws go change old bad tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners, people and they kill their fellow citizens then during war. We get the Dogbowusu war. We get the Hindu, the Bolate, the Jongo Black. All anything they don't pass. We get the 11 years brutal rebel war. People that will be they continue for killing your fellow citizens then. They don't stop. Upon all who get lost then. Upon all who get new lost then. From the rebel war. The time will not been there when a military decrease. The MPRC interregnum. 30 day. Some people then women they kill then your fellow citizens then. 30 day that they continue for kill then your brothers and sisters then. We get 11 years brutal war. We get a special court for Sierra Leone. We get 11 years brutal war. We get a Peace and Reconciliation Commission, the TRC. They come with the report. They come with everything. But all waiting the TRC be recommend. It stop. Today now the worst, now 10 times. So, new laws, not the change bad old habit. People that will overthrow the APC Momolet government in 1992 and kill Sierra Leonean citizens there. The likes of the former Inspector General of Police, James Rambe Kamara, Salami Koka, Kauta Dumbuya, Makoya Pokonte, Mohamed Lamin Bangura, Colonel Yaya Kano. Today, then they at the end of affairs. They don't stop killings. No. Now the more then they continue for kill. Even though we get the 1991 constitution, fellow Sierra Leoneans, killing not stop yet. That don't tell you say, I like you change laws there 100 times. That person we don't use for kill. We did in DNA. If they continue for kill. That person we don't use for thief. That person we don't use for cheat. That person we don't use for manipulate. I like it change millions of laws. You know, they ever change in bad old tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and communists all, both home and the diaspora, we don't get all anything in there. They say, "Now we get democracy." We don't get democracy. Then we come again. Then reflect we back to the warring days from April 4, 2018. Today, thousands of Sierra Leonean citizens there don't lost their precious lives there. That don't tell you, say, new laws, not they change bad old tricks. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, citizens then will be involved in killing in the Dogwausu days, the Bolate days, the Jongobla days, the Ngwangwe days, the Baote days, the Hindu days, the Kamajo days, the REF days, the MPRC junta days, that they still kill their fellow innocent citizens there. Fellow Sierra Leone, only for desperate and bloody test for political power. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, Sierra Leone don't need new laws, but Sierra Leone, we need a good leadership. We need a leadership where they unite the country. We need a leadership where they hold the country together. We don't need a leadership where they employ electoral thieves then for continue for fear, hate, for continue for fear, discord that the nation. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, we need not electoral thieves. We don't need political bandits then. When are enemies of state, when they bulldoze accountability. When we get a good leadership, we get a servant leadership, we get a patriotic leadership, we get a nationalistic leadership, then Sierra Leone will breathe again. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings of Ghana, wey wan strengthen Ghana. He don't study Ghana. He says, they are bad politicians. They are bad leaders them. We don't destroy Ghana. We don't give the setback of Ghana. We make Ghana the retrogress. We come to power. What he do? He invites them all to a meeting. Church did not meeting over here too. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't flush all the bad politicians there, the bad leaders there in Ghana today. Ghana don't be a great nation in Africa and the sub-region. Kudos to Flight Lieutenant J.D. Rawlings, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, we allow bad people, we allow criminals them, what we submit the records them, we allow coupists them, we allow exploitative bunch of crooks them for lead we nation. We allow the one that will don't empty we state coffers there. The one that will don't plunder we state resources there for lead we na a nation, for emboldens them. Over a decade, we dey clap for them, we dey cherish them, we dey defend them, we dey fight for them, we dey advocate for them, we dey put them into position of trust for let them continue for rob and kill we again. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me, no new law, not the change, bad old tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, armed robber go continue for be an armed robber. A killer go continue always for be a killer. You don't go ever stop a killer from killing. You don't go ever stop an exploitative bandit from banditry because a day now in DNA, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So this now we see today with a vote in thieves because of tribe, because of region, because of this, that. At the end of the day, the whole nation, they suffer. People, then they kill their own brothers there. Then they kill their own sisters there. Then they commit heinous crimes against humanity. Then they go scot-free with impunity. Then they boast back. They want to be minister. They want to be president. They want to be this, that. Upon all the killing, upon all the crimes against humanity. Now this, the only happen in Sierra Leone. That don't tell you, say, new laws, not they change old bad tricks. Fellow Sierra Leoneans. Because Bob Nestor Marley say, in a world wherein criminals there, that they make the law, you know, go ever get justice. Now that we don't see so today. In any advanced country, anybody we accused of taking life, we kill, we thief, we loot, we corrupt, like other advanced country there, they know they ever allow 49 for any position in that nation and day. But today we in Sierra Leone, now criminals then with the hail, now corrupt, exploitative, and tribalistic bunch of thieves there with the hail, now killers there with the hail. The one the way they exploit the nation, now they with the hail. The one the way don't wear uniform, turn to rebel, turn to Kamajo, turn to junta, now they with the hail. Then they continue for kill we, then they continue for rob we, and they continue for put we freedom at stake. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So that don't tell you, say, new law not they change old bad tricks. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, when it's still they at the aim of power, they are protected by the police, they are protected by the military, they are protected by the judiciary, and they are protected by the pauper special militia force, where they call the Kamajors. Ladies and gentlemen, now they get the gun, now they get everything what he could do. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, Evangelist Samson, he don't commit treason, he don't commit armed robbery, he don't commit rape, only for exercising a democratic right. Then paladin, shoot and kill in daylight. The people that will say they don't abolish death penalty. Why they not be arrest the man, then bring her to book, then find her guilty, then jail her, then for go kill her. We they say they don't abolish the death penalty. But fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all both home and the diaspora, today for exercise, freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of movement, we enshrine now with 1991 constitution, it don't become a crime. Now two laws today, they move on at the country. The law where they protect the government of the day and they use people there. The law where they go against the citizens of this country and dissent them at the country. This, then they show the seed of discord. They say you reap whatever you sow. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, is this really the abolition of the death penalty? Ladies and gentlemen, where don't become a political scam, where they may the only try for get money from the international world. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans and comrades all, that don't tell you say, no new laws, not the change by old trick. Sierra Leone will get millions of law, they do nothing. The old folks and the criminals there, we get our DNA. We don't count problem, disaster, killing record in this country. Panama will not get rid of them people in day. And then we get billions of loss there in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, they move on. Ladies and gentlemen, see how people like Mohamed Kone, Edmond Sylvester Alpha, they conduct election, thief the people they mandate, give unto their own people then, give unto their own tribesmen then, give unto their own political party then, when a crime against the state, when a treason against the people of Sierra Leone. But yet, because then thief for them party, then thief for the region, then thief for them tribe, they are protected. Ladies and gentlemen, the crime what them people here don't commit, they suffer what they suffer today. They stop what they stop for giving donor funds them. All anything a day, the killings them, the tramadol, the kush, where they kill we youth they all today. Then people here contribute. Mohamed Kone and Edmond Sylvester Alpha. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, that don't tell you say. Then people here, now team what don't they na the DNA. 14th election for their own political party. Then go to the institutions they are, mainly for fight for their own tribe, for fight for their own political party. Whose new law what you they make, where them people then they, now that institutions and they, where they get all bad habits, where they know they continue for thief the elections of the people there, now this country. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, the law is not enforceable and applicable to them. They lost their way they make. Now then they know how they lost them for apply. Would that the law for be applicable to? Would that for suffer the consequences of the law? But then the law they protect them. Then they above the law. Then they above everything. If you see Edmond Alpha, then go approval pauperistically. Now the pauper rubber stamp parliament. Then they can't in the dance Vienna. Then they provoke the people of Sierra Leone. Finally, thing don't be because of impunity. Then thief election results not there. They can appoint them back, provoke the people of this country, incite the country to political instability. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, because a talking back say 2028 election, they not get for be different like that of 2023 daylight electoral coup. Because it sure say, hence it give power to your political party, and political party na in na power. I like it thief election, I like it rogue election, I like it bulldoze the constitution, I like it commit treason against the constitution, I like it commit treason against the state. Nothing than the protector. This na the land where we live. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, say, hence in political party, they in power, they go continue forget absolute immunity. These are the dangers of impunity in any country, ladies and gentlemen. So the only way for stop crime, way for stop impunity, Wey for stop bad thing then a nation now for get rid of the people then. Just like our flight lieutenant Jerry Rawlings do na Ghana. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, but I tell you say, new laws cannot change old bad habits. The pauper inherits fear. At 6,000 euros per liter, then talk all kind thing, then criticize, then talk wetin dem call not a global issue, rubbish this that. Francis Menkefala, today, boss of Renaissance movement, today, na he wan become flag bearer of the SLPP, Anti-Corruption Commission, Cover Corruption Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a one become president from civil society to politics. Mambude from civil society to politics, and all other them politicians there from civil society. That don't make today civil society activists there, but could they not take them serious again at this country? Because then they hide under civil activism for that they able the vuvuzelas of the rotten political party. Ladies and gentlemen. So then say they inherit fear. 6,000 leons today, just in 7 years, fear don't go to 32,000. Ladies and gentlemen, a regime where come say we money no value, then they can redenominate we currency, then change we currency to new leon. Now the central bank of Sierra Leone, 800 new billion, they don't disappear. Now the central bank, like we saw, they disappear inside water. We amount trillions of old loans. Now tell me, if new law, they change bad old tricks. The answer is emphatic no. So you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. This proverb means say, a very difficult for change established habits then, behavior there, and attitude there, especially in older people or animals. While this is rooted in the idea, say, similar to aged animals, people then become for set in their own ways. So this actually not a generalization, old dogs to human, and indeed they learn from new skill. Meaning, it refers to the difficulty for overcome ingrained habits then, decay habits then, chronic habits then, where people then don't use. Bad habits then, for let you change the habits there. It's not gonna be easy. All of them people then they where you bat in them, or then they other side, or they hold them accountable. Then go they now, and then go they change their life then. So this origin, the phrase, it dates back at least 16th century, where originally they refer to how you train dogs then. Waiting often falls for dogs and human. This we call the neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, research so say, the adult brain, both human and animal, it retain the ability for adapt to any change. The human learning. People then they learn new skills, new languages or hobbies at any age. So it's very difficult, if not possible, for change the ways, fellow Sierra Leoneans, of people then. We don't use for do bad things then. It don't chronic na then DNA. Ladies and gentlemen, for change their behavior, even if we account with millions of law. So you not go change somebody in behavior, in idea, in attitude, we don't long establish. Ladies and gentlemen, especially as people then we don't they grow older. So character, indeed, now the core foundation where they shape and define somebody attitude and behavior. While attitude, now a mental framework or a mindset where they fluctuate quickly. Character, now the deeply rooted, consistent set of moral values there and virtues there, short as honesty, short as integrity and patience, where they determine how somebody they act over the long term. Character, they define your true behavior. Deep-rooted consistency. Character na the underlying stable part of an individual where they guide we actions them, even when no one they watch we. The true you, waiting on the true you. Your behavior sometimes go be fake in short term. Character na the real you, na the real deal where they eventually reveal itself. Now the inner, often hidden set of moral standard where they dictate your action in any given situation. Ladies and gentlemen, actions reflect values. What did this mean to be listeners then? If somebody gets strong character, their action, they reflect their values. Character, they shape your attitude. Foundation for outlook. Character, they influence how you they perceive and how you they respond to the world, how you they shape your overall attitude. Internal versus external. Character is internal, while attitude the outward expression of that inner state, the rooted identity. Think of character as the root of a tree, while attitude na the outward demeanor or branches, where are the roots, where are the character, where they direct how the tree, where are the person, they handle the environment. The interplay of character, attitude, and behavior. Habit form character. Habits now in the build the blocks of character. Character it is often deeply ingrained. Attitude na a choice and go be adjusted or changed. Fellow listeners, comrades all. Consistency. While somebody they get good or bad attitude a given day, based on circumstances, then character they determine the consistent enduring pattern of the behavior over time. Ultimately, for cultivate a strong positive character, then consider that more important than just forget a good reputation or temporary positive attitude as character, now a true lasting legacy of somebody. So new laws don't they change bad old tricks. Our laws then not get no problem. All the new laws then, whether they council, they're partisan, they're political, they're regionalistic, they're tribalistic, and they at their own political and tribal advantage. Then they hide behind new laws with political undertones for forcefully get a grip on political power and not for the benefit of the nation or the society. So we political leaders then, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need new laws. We don't need Boku Boku laws where they trap Sierra Leonean citizens there. Cow the cyber crime law, cow this kind law, all them law then they now for short people then, short decent then, for them no go after them, them bad way they do, the looting way they do, the bad character do. So new laws they create more problems than a society, ladies and gentlemen. So we political leaders then, ladies and gentlemen, they need for change their corrupt attitude. They need for change their unethical behavior, the stinky and smelly character of corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, they need for get respect for the people of this country where they govern. Ladies and gentlemen, we leaders the need for comport themselves adequately, like intelligentsia, therefore behave responsibly, and therefore show transparency, and the citizens supposed for hold them accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not servants of the people. They're not to boss over the people. We say them this so today. Now the people then put them there. The Motukawa then they drive. Now the people of Sierra Leone. the luxurious places they where they sleep, the plane they where they take, everything about them. Now the people, now the taxpayers, they turn back, kill the taxpayers, jail them, victimize them, incarcerate them, the people that will give you a job. So according to Richard, the 7 pillars of a society, ladies and gentlemen, now governance, economy, the culture, education, family, religion, and civic engagement, wey form an interdependent ecosystem wey dey sustain a flourishing society. So the full development of a nation, it rely on balancing them pillars they are as seen in the miracle economic growth of nation. We focus on education, trade, and strategic infrastructure, the social fabric, and the culture. Trust and cooperation, high level of interpersonal trust and social cohesion. They allow communities there for solve collective action problems. The values, a culture where they promote hard work, honesty, thrifts, and openness to innovation. The civic virtue, now for foster a sense of shared responsibility and community engagement rather than extreme individualism or hyper-individualism. When a societal mindset where they prioritize personal autonomy, self-interest, and subjective truth above communal needs, duty, or shared responsibility. Individually, they see themselves as their highest authority, often in the disregard traditional institutions there, were characterized by the intense self-focus, where they develop a nation, ladies and gentlemen, not to crook laws, not to bad laws, they develop a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the newly politically motivated laws then, authoritarian legislations then, not only they develop a nation, ladies and gentlemen, developed nations then driven by good leadership, and later when I get good laws, good leadership generally considered as the primary catalyst, where they initiate, where they implement, where they enforce necessary changes in a nation, including new laws. While new laws then they provide the framework for the progress, new laws remain ineffective without leaders then we get vision, we get integrity, we committed to implement them in a day. So the role of good leadership, when are the driver, good leaders then they identify the key ingredient for national development, where they impact a nation in several ways, vision and strategies. Leaders then they set the direction, then they create a shared vision and define the nation in future. The implementation, effective leaders that they ensure say policies and laws there, they actually execute them rather than just remaining on paper. Accountability and integrity. Leaders then with integrity promote transparency, then they reduce corruption, and then they build public trust. Mobilization. Good leaders then they coordinate different sectors of society, government, private sectors, civil society towards common developmental goal na a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners, the role of new laws, when are the framework. New laws then they provide the structure. Fellow listeners, comrades all, both home and the diaspora, within which a nation they operates. Fellow listeners, comrades all, both home and the diaspora. The order and stability. New laws that they ensure stability. They reduce conflict in a society. They establish structure that were necessary for a peaceful functioning society. The rule of law. A strong legal framework. They protect people their rights. They enforce contracts there, and they reduce chaos in a society. A nation is developed when visionary leaders stand, then they enact good laws, and more importantly, then they ensure they implement them effectively. Therefore, new laws not the change, but old tricks. So for let a country develop, prosper, unite, and forget a cohesive society, national integration, we need a servant leadership, a visionary leadership, a focused oriented leadership, a developmental leadership, a democratic leadership, leadership with integrity, leadership with humility, leadership with transparency and accountabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, bad leadership not they ever improve a society. Bad leadership not they ever improve a society. Bad leadership, they directly cause decreased productivity, low employee morale, a toxic environment, a divided society, a tribalized society, a regionalized society, damage the image of in country, damage the country international credibility. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, we go only develop a nation, ladies and gentlemen, where we get a leadership, when a servant leadership, we get sympathy and empathy, we're nationalistic and we're patriotic. Ladies and gentlemen, incompetent leadership, they destroy a nation. Rigid leadership, they destroy a nation. Intemperate leadership, they destroy a nation.